Tim, did you think Pacquiao won that fight? It was
thought
good.
Manny Pacquiao won.
Clearly, was there any room for
Clear to
discussion?
me. Clear. I don't know, man. I thought Manny won that.
With the Manny Pacquiao decision?
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I want to say, if anything, I would have gave it a split to Manny Pacquiao if she was there in the movie.
What did you think of the fight?
That was a good fight. I thought Manny did enough.
You think Manny won the fight?
The showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios has ended in controversy.
The showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios ended in controversy, a shocking draw that has ignited outrage across the boxing world. Once again, Pacquiao defied Father Time and silenced the doubters. Most experts had written him off, calling the fight a mismatch and expecting a farewell beating. But instead, the legend turned back the clock, delivering a performance that stunned fans and analysts alike. Many believe the Pacman did more than enough to outpoint the younger, fresher Barrios, yet the judges saw it differently. The aftermath of Pacquiao versus Barrios has stirred widespread outrage, as a controversial draw left many observers stunned. Across the board, former champions, analysts, and insiders expressed disbelief, not just at the result, but at what they saw as a glaring failure in judging. The consensus was clear. Pacquiao did enough to win, and Barrios simply didn't do enough to earn either a victory or a draw. Among the most vocal critics was former two-time welterweight world champion Shawn Porter. In his view, Barrios didn't convincingly win a single round. He described Barrios' performance as lacking urgency and effectiveness, particularly against a high-caliber opponent like Pacquiao. Porter pointed to the judging as the primary issue, attributing the draw to poor officiating and outright incompetence.
Sean, he may not have gotten out of there in 3, but he looked like he damn near won the first 3 rounds. What did you think of Pacquiao tonight? Who do you think won the fight?
It was really hard for me to give Mario rounds. I thought that, Manny is a systematic fighter. He works, jab, 1-2s. He's always leading with the straight left. I don't feel like Mario took control, took charge at any points. I don't know if he outlanded them at any point in any rounds. It was hard. It's really hard to see from where I was at. But all in all, I just felt like it was. If you had a meter, it was really swaying Manny's way the whole way. So I don't know, man. I think it's bad judging. Incompetence as usual, I think. And
Porter has long been critical of questionable judging in boxing, even citing it as one of the reasons he chose to retire. In this case, he found no logical explanation to support the result, stating that trying to make sense of the decision would lead nowhere.
I'm retired for a reason. I didn't retire because I couldn't get decisions, but simply put, there's a lot that goes on in this game that I don't agree with. And this just adds to my fire to stay retired and try to empower the change that I feel is needed.
What would be the logic behind putting it, not giving Manny the decision?
There's no logic. There's no logic.
He ultimately concluded that Barrios did neither enough to win nor enough to justify a draw, reinforcing his belief that Pacquiao should have been declared the winner.
But, simply put, there's a lot that goes on in this game that I don't agree with, and this just adds to my fire to stay retired and try to empower the change that I feel is needed.
What would be the logic behind putting it, not giving Manny the decision?
There's no logic. There's no logic. I know that the judges are announced. We know who the judges are and all those sorts of things. Don't even tell me their names.
Another respected voice sharing a similar view was Chris Algieri, a former world champion in both boxing and kickboxing. While he acknowledged that the fight was close in stretches, he believed Pacquiao consistently outworked Barrios throughout most of the bout. According to Algieri, Pacquiao landed the more effective shots and maintained the edge until the final round. Despite the competitiveness, he was baffled that the judges didn't score it in favor of the Filipino legend.
Super close fight back and forth. I mean, Manny shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough. And he just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. Manny did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep the emotion there. I was saying during the PTV.com live chat, Barrios fighting with zero swagger, with no attitude. He wasn't selling anything he was doing. He did a lot of good work, but it was like you had to be really, really watching to see him do it. And as close as that was, as close as that fight, was, how do you not give it to Manny?
When asked about the possibility of a rematch, Algieri stated that it should be Barrios seeking redemption, not Pacquiao. In his view, Barrios failed to secure a clear win and should be the one chasing another opportunity. Pacquiao, having once again proven his elite level, remains in a strong position regardless.
And you naturally surprised with the decision, the majority draw. Do you feel like we should get a rematch?
That's entirely up to me. That's entirely up to me. That's entirely up to me. I think he's in the driver's seat now. It's amazing that he was able to, to fight at that level. But I think, Barrios is definitely wants to fight.
Former unified welterweight world champion Keith Thurman also chimed in with criticism of Barrios' performance. He felt that Barrios missed key opportunities, particularly in the later rounds, to take control of the fight. Thurman had expected a more strategic and dominant showing from Barrios, especially considering Pacquiao's age and ring inactivity, but that never materialized.
So he should have let a little bit more dog come out, especially in those later rounds when Manny Pacquiao was slowing down. The rust showed. He still looked good. The angles, Barrios don't like angles.
From Thurman's perspective, the younger fighter needed to take control as the fight progressed, but his inability to do so left little reason to justify the result as anything other than a Pacquiao win. Gary Antoine Russell, the WBA super lightweight title holder, also disagreed with the decision. If he were judging, he stated he would have awarded Pacquiao a split decision victory.
With the Manny Pacquiao decision? Yeah. Honestly, man, I want to say, if anything, I would have gave it a split to Manny Pacquiao if she said in the movie. You know what I mean? But hey, tomato. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve. But it was still a very entertaining.
Russell emphasized that Barrios needed to be more active and assertive throughout the fight if he hoped to earn a win. In his analysis, Pacquiao was a more effective fighter. And while the bout was relatively close, the scoring should have reflected Pacquiao's superior work. He doubled down, asserting that the fight belonged to Manny, not Mario.
Honestly, I would like to see a rematch. I would like to see a rematch. Why? Because I don't think that was a legitimate decision. So, but it is what it is,
What do you think Mario could have done better to actually sway people to believe this was a draw?
He could have been more active. I feel like he was waiting too long. Mario Barrios, he's a precision fighter, but Manny Pacquiao, he's too busy for a fighter that just want to sit there and take pictures and look pretty. Mario Barrios, I feel like he got to be punctual when he's boxing. You can be a boxer, but be an effective boxer. I feel like he was just waiting there in the pocket a little too long, and that just kind of like cost him a couple of rounds. That's why I say I don't think it should have been a majority draw. A split decision, Manny Pacquiao.
What was your scorecard?
Split decision, Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's longtime advisor, Sean Gibbons, was also left in disbelief by the decision. Gibbons expressed deep disappointment and confusion, stating he couldn't understand what the judges saw that could justify a draw.
I had him up going into the 10th round, maybe by 4 or 5 points. I'm very disappointed that I don't know what the judges saw. I really don't understand.
The wrong end of a controversial call. To Gibbons, the draw felt like yet another chapter in a long, frustrating pattern of questionable judging decisions that have unfairly marked Pacquiao's storied career.
It was just kind of disbelief, how does that happen? Why does that happen? Manny Pacquiao, at 46 years old, making history, vintage performance, gave it his all in the ring. And why, he's been robbed on a few occasions. Now, he's got a few, decisions that were close, that went his way. But the mood was just disbelief. It's like, why does it happen? I don't get it.
Custer, who has covered some of the sport's biggest moments, didn't hesitate to call the result deeply flawed. He noted how Pacquiao's ring generalship, accuracy, and command in the middle rounds clearly tilted the fight in his favor. For him, the decision reflected not only poor judging but a larger problem within boxing's scoring system. Custer emphasized that when a legend like Pacquiao performs at such a high level, especially at his age, the judges have a responsibility to reward that effort appropriately. The collective outcry, from media, former champions, active fighters, and fans painted a picture of a sport once again caught in the grip of controversy. For Pacquiao, the outcome may not tarnish his legacy, but it has certainly left a sour note on what could have been a triumphant final chapter. Whether or not a rematch happens, this fight has reignited an urgent conversation. If boxing is to protect credibility, something must be done to fix how fights are judged, before more nights like this slip away undeservedly.
What did you think of the fight?
That was a good fight. I thought Manny did enough.
You think Manny won the fight?
Custer elaborated on his assessment by highlighting how Pacquiao controlled the tempo and dictated the terms of the bout. He felt that Pacquiao forced Barrios to fight at his pace and under his rhythm, effectively neutralizing the younger fighter's offense. According to Custer, Barrios showed too much respect in the ring and failed to impose himself when opportunities arose. Instead of turning up the pressure in crucial moments, Barrios remained overly cautious, allowing Pacquiao to dominate the flow and narrative of the fight. For Custer, this lack of urgency from Barrios made the draw all the more baffling.
I thought he made Mario fight his pace, and I think Mario looks back on it. He's going to say, I gave him way too much respect, and I should have stepped on the gas and made him fight my pace and make him fight a 30-year-old man's pace as opposed to a 46-year-old man's pace.
Did Mario look the older man in there tonight, do you think? Did he look the older man in there?
I think he gave too much respect to Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao won that fight. It was good to see.
Pacquiao won.
Clearly, was there any room for
Clear
discretion?
to me. I'm not a judge, but it's clear to me and clear to my eyes.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray also didn't hold back his thoughts on the outcome. When asked for his opinion on the result, Gray wasted no time in declaring that he believed Pacquiao clearly won the fight. He described the decision as disappointing and disheartening, especially considering the caliber of performance Pacquiao delivered at 46 years old. Gray emphasized that Pacquiao's superior ring generalship, cleaner punches, and control over the fight should have secured him the victory. In his view, the judges failed not only Pacquiao, but the sport of boxing itself by not recognizing what he saw as a clear and deserving win.
And it's a shame for boxing. Two judges who, can't decide who the winner is. Really? So yeah, Barrios the champion. I guess you have to beat the champion. And I guess in their eyes, he clearly.
Gray went a step further, expressing frustration not just with the decision, but with the message it sends about boxing's credibility. He called it a shame that the sport would allow a result like this to stand in a fight where, in his view, the winner was evident. Gray stressed the importance of delivering a clear and fair verdict when one fighter clearly outperforms the other, and felt this was a missed opportunity to reward the better man. To him, allowing such decisions to go unchallenged only deepens the public's mistrust in the sport's judging system. 1-5. He also used the moment to recognize Pacquiao's incredible performance given his age, applauding the Filipino icon for competing at such a high level at 46 years old. Gray praised Pacquiao's ability to not only keep up with a younger opponent, but to outshine him in key moments of the fight. He called it a remarkable display of conditioning, skill, and ring IQ, proof that Pacquiao still belongs among the sport's elite. For Gray, the fact that such performance didn't result in a win only made the decision more disappointing and the controversy harder to accept.
Do that. But to me, it was an astounding, amazing, outstanding performance by a 46-year-old man who has not fought in 4 years, who had the stamina, the wherewithal, the guts, the determination. This is one of the all-time great performances.
Even younger fighters are showing respect for what Pacquiao accomplished in the ring that night. Floyd Mayweather's prodigy, Kermel Moton, was among those asked to weigh in on the controversial draw. While Moton said he wasn't overly upset with the result, he made it clear that, in his opinion, Pacquiao still deserved the victory. He praised Pacquiao's ring generalship, sharp combinations, and ability to dictate the pace, attributes that, in his eyes, should have tipped the judges' scorecards in the legend's favor. Despite the official ruling, Moton emphasized that performances like Pacquiao's are rare and should be recognized accordingly.